Welcome to Now Hear This. I'm your host, Chris Spangle. Now Hear This is a conversation with leaders in Indianapolis that are working to improve the lives of Hoosiers. Our goal is to empower you to join in their work and make a difference while informing you about the unseen aspects of life in Indiana. If you miss an episode, you can listen via podcast at nowhearthisindy.com. Again, my name is Chris Spangle, and I am excited to learn more about our organization today. It is Impact 100, and my guest is Terry Mumford, who is a board member emerita of Impact 100 Greater Indianapolis. My apologies. Terry, thank you so much for joining us, and tell us a little bit about Impact 100.
Well, Impact 100 Greater Indianapolis is technically a charitable organization approved by the IRS. Our structure is called a giving circle. We exist because individual women donate $1,000 and we pool that money together. And then our participants, our members, vote on how that money is dispersed. And they are active, or they can be active, throughout the whole process of reviewing grant applications, selecting finalists, and then voting on the nonprofit who receives our Changemaker grant, which is $100,000.
Wow. Okay. So tell us, how does a giving circle work? I've never heard of this concept before.
Well, the idea is that we think, and it's a movement that is across the country. We think that women are looking for an opportunity to be directly involved in philanthropy. But not every woman, not every person has a big chunk of money that they can go out and make a high impact grant. But by getting a group of people together, in our case, a group of women together, we can pool our resources and make these high impact grants. Again, our grant is $100,000. And we select a nonprofit that we think is going to make a difference through perhaps an innovative or a new approach. There are Impact 100 or comparable giving circles in virtually every state in the United States, but I'm very proud to say that Impact 100 Greater Indianapolis first to follow this model. We were in the first 4, 5, or 6 states to have this giving circle model.
Yeah, one of the great things about Indianapolis and this show is documenting how generous Hoosiers are and how innovative they are in the nonprofit sector. So it's not surprising to hear that. And again, their website is impact100indy.org. That's impact100indy with a y.org. Can anyone join the circle, and is it $1,000 a year? Is it $1,000 per project? You know, if you were to join the organization as, I assume maybe, I know it's giving to women, but can men join? Tell us about how to join and who can join and what goes on when you do.
Right. Our members are women. They join at the $1,000 level. However, a group of women can get together and fund a single membership in essence. And our entry level for that is $50. So it's an annual donation because we have an annual grant process. We build up our grant pool, which is the phase we're in now. Then we give our entire grant pool away to the grantees that we select. And then we start over again, raising money, hopefully from people who have already members. We do have a very high retention rate. Personally, I've been a member for 15 years. And so we go back to our members and say, wasn't 2020 great? Let's join in 2021. And now isn't 2021 great? And let's join in 2022. But it's we have a good process. We're an all volunteer organization. We have no bricks, we have no mortar. So all of this is being done by volunteers.
So do you select the organization first and then raise the money, or is it you're just a part of this? You cut the $1,000 check and then you vote on it. How does that process work?
Right. That is a really that the way you ask that question is so great, and it's one that I think really puts this in perspective. We raise the money first, and that's what we're wrapping up right now. And we're also, because we're wrapping up that fundraising part right now, we're also soliciting applications from nonprofits right now. And so we may have 100 nonprofits start our application process. And then their applications are reviewed by 5 subcommittees that we have, grant review committees that look at these applications. And each of these committees has a particular subject matter they're looking at. For example, we have we call them focus area committees. We have a focus area committee on family, on education, on the arts, on the environment, on health and wellness. And each of those committees reviews applications that are sent to that committee. And then each of those committees in around May will select a finalist and recommend that finalist to our membership for a vote. Our members vote, and then by a majority vote, we call it our change maker. Our change maker is selected, and that change maker gets $100,000. Now, if we have raised more than $100,000, which we will do, whatever is left over is divided amongst the other 4 finalists. For example, this past year, our $100,000 change maker was Family Promise of Hendricks County. But we had 4 other finalists, and each of them got unrestricted grants of $26,500. So we felt we had an impact on 5 agencies, and then 1 in particular got our Changemaker grant.
Fascinating. So tell us, who have you helped in the past? What are some organizations that have received grants, and what was the impact of this money?
Well, it's very, over the course of our grant making, we've given to a wide variety of agencies. And I think I'll mention a couple because I think they may have been agencies that went from perhaps being obscure to being more well known. One of the agencies that we funded, and it was actually it was 10 years ago. Rock Steady Boxing was our Changemaker winner in 2010, and at that time, Rock Steady Boxing was a tiny little entity that was founded by former prosecutor Scott Newman to deal with or to help people who had Parkinson's. And what was discovered is that the movements of boxing training were helpful to people who had Parkinson's. Our $100,000 grant to Rock Steady Boxing allowed them to move into a larger facility, hire an executive director, and start promoting themselves to the point where now they are an international and they're an international organization, and their work has been medically studied and validated. So that's one that I love to.
And if I can interrupt, one of my
sure.
best friends, the person who changed my life by helping me get my current job, goes to Rocksteady, and it has changed his experience with his disease in such a positive way. So thank you personally. It has greatly impacted the lives of somebody that I really, really care about.
Well, we've had so many stories like that. 2 of my former law partners they're married to each other, but the husband developed Parkinson's at a fairly young age, and his wife became a Rock Steady Boxing trainer so that she could set up a center for him and for others. And so there are so many stories. I don't know if you've seen there's a 60 Minutes story where Leslie Stahl, who's a 60 Minutes reporter, commented on her personal experience with Rock Steady Boxing. So, I mean, if there was that, to me, the Rock Steady Boxing story is an example of how $100,000 can be granted to an agency that actually no one's ever heard of, but that presents an opportunity to do something different, unexpected, and the results are amazing. We've had some other experiences. There are probably too many to mention, but one that I particularly am I don't call fond of, but happy to have been a part of, is that we also were a funder for an entity called Outside the Box. And Outside the Box was a tiny little organization to try to provide assistance to adults with developmental disabilities. They had aged out of the public education system, and Outside the Box provided them with a day experience in education, professional development, and art. And they came to us, and they were in a tiny little closet type place, and we were able to, through our grant, help them to buy what was a nursing home facility that was being sold off, and they are now a much larger agency serving hundreds of adults in this circumstance. We just recently heard from them about their experience in trying to adjust to COVID. And it's just a reminder that there are many, we have not found all of them, but there are many opportunities in Indianapolis and I suppose everywhere to find some people who are so dedicated, so excited about what they're doing, and to help them fulfill their vision it's just remarkable. It's why I've kept in my involvement for this many years.
Well, we are almost out of time. I am speaking to Terry Mumford, who is a board member emerita of Impact 100. Their website is impact100indy.org. It will be in the show notes of the podcast. You can find it at nowhearthisindy.com. You want to grab that link and join up with Impact 100. What is the one thing that you see working in this project that you'd like everybody to understand?
I would like everyone to understand that there is an opportunity for women, for individuals, to have an impact. And for women who are out there listening, it's not too late to join us. Go to our website. You have just a couple of weeks here to get on the 2021 train. But more importantly, there is an opportunity for all of us who want to make a difference to find the organization that makes us feel part of change for the better.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Terry Mumford, for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Now Hear This. I'm your host, Chris Spangle. If you missed any portion of our program, you can listen on our website, nowhearthisindy.com. If you'd like to have your organization featured on the show, please email Gabby at nowhearthisindy@iheartmedia.com. Thanks for listening, and we will be back again next weekend with Now Hear This. Our goal at The Chris Spangle Show is to help you sound smarter while talking with your friends. If you struggle to understand politics, we explain it from an independent, libertarian perspective with all of the irreverence modern politics deserves. We toss out the screaming heads and put people before political parties and give context to the news to make you think. I'm the host. I'm a 15-year veteran of politics and media, and this show is published every Saturday. It's part of the We Are Libertarians network, and be sure to join Wall Plus for bonus podcasts, the complete archives, commercial-free shows, and more. Subscribe now at wearelibertarians.com.